I'd like to call to order the regular Town Commission meeting of November the 15th, 2022. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, everybody. I didn't have any idea we were going to have such a large crowd here tonight. It's nice to see everybody. Before we do the swearing in of new elected commissioners, I'd like to recognize some of the dignitaries that are in the audience today. If I mispronounce your name, I apologize in advance. First of all, we have Circuit Court Judge Bill Roby, Martin County Commissioner Doug Smith, Martin County Commissioner Ed Chiampi, Martin County Commissioner Stacy Hetherington, Martin County School Board Member Jennifer Russell, Martin County School Board Member Marcia Powers, Martin County Taxpayer President Kevin Powers, Martin County Sheriff Chief Deputy John Bunitsky. Not close. I'm sorry. Martin County Tax Collector, and this one's going to be bad, Ruth Petruzewski. Okay. We have a couple of former Sewalls Point mayors, Paul Luger, Don Weiner, Jackie Thurlow-Lippisch. We have our former Sewalls Point interim town manager, Dan Hudson, former Sewalls Point town clerk, Sherry White, former state senate president, Joe Negron, former Martin County School Board member, Rebecca Negron, state representative, John Snyder, Martin County Clerk of Courts, Carolyn Timon, City of Stuart Commissioner, Becky Bruner, City of Stuart Mayor, Troy McDonald, and City of Stuart Commissioner, Eula Clark. Thank you all very much for coming tonight. So that'll bring us into the swearing in of the newly elected commissioners, and Judge Roby will do the honors.
I see how well you treated other swearing in people in that picture there.
Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. Knock 'em dead.
And of course, we're swearing in our two new commissioners, James Campo and David Kurzman.
Okay, well, this will be interesting. We'll have you both put your hands in the Bible at the same time. That's okay. Here we go. We got a Bible. If you want to, you can say yes. You can do it different, right? You want to hold that for me? Okay. All right, now, this is the big moment. Read up to me. I,
James Campo.
Okay. Without waiting for me to go to jail. I state your name.
I, James Campo.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support,
That I will support,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and government of the United States
and government of the United States
and the state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
and will. There's a how far is it? There's a big seal right in the middle there. And that I'm qualified to hold office
that I'm qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state
under the Constitution of the state
and the town of Sewalls Point
and the town of Sewalls Point,
Code, and that I will
and that I will
faithfully perform
faithfully perform
the duties of town commissioner
the duties of town commissioner
of Sewalls Point,
of Sewalls Point,
Florida.
Florida.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You guys did it. Congratulations.
I just wanted to thank everyone for coming and thank Doug Smith for bringing his daughter on back as to why am I doing this? I'm doing this for the third time. This will be 12 years. And I was thinking, why am I doing this? My kids are saying, why are you doing that? People talk to you for 3 minutes and they say hateful things. And no one says thank you. And, you don't have time as much as we would like for you to do that. And so I started asking myself, why did I do this? And I got nothing. The real reason that I'm doing this is for my children. Han, Eden, Grayson, Corbin, Reagan, and my sister Steph. My sister Karen, my sister Sue. And really, the reason I'm doing this is for you, for my community. I love being a part of you, and I appreciate the respect of coming out and helping me celebrate tonight. Thank you very much.
I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I look forward to another 4 years. A lot of hard work goes into this. Most people don't understand. So, 40 hours of meetings, and sometimes decisions we make may not be popular. Sometimes you don't even want to be here because they're so popular, but we always do in our heart. We feel best for the town. It's not even about us. We take our opinions. A lot of it comes from the residents, and sometimes things are split. And just trying to do all around with the best interest of our residents. And thank you again, like James said, it was nice to have the consideration to be able to run unopposed, which there's a lot of confidence. Thanks for coming.
Okay, Town Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Tom Peck,
Here.
Vice Mayor Kurzman,
Here.
Commissioner Campo,
Here.
Commissioner Fender,
Here.
Commissioner Mayfield.
Here.
All right, now that we know everybody's here, we're going to take a brief 15-minute recess to mingle and have some refreshments. We'll get back together at 6:25. I'd like to call the meeting back to order. Next item on the agenda is public comment, and we do have one public comment. Kent Hoffman?
Hi. How are you?
All right, Ken Hoffman, 42 Rio Vista. To start with, congratulations on you two. Wonderful. Thank you. Good to hear. I'm coming today. The last time I talked was a few months ago, and some things have changed since then. It was good to see, and this is really about the septic to sewer, as you all know. It was good to see the report, the draft report that was released. As we've all been going through that report, it was a good thing. I think that report, if we hold to it, is going to be good. I want to start, though, with another side comment here. A few months back, one of the commissioners made a very nice social media post praising the success of the Sewalls Point Road stormwater project stormwater removal project phase 1. Totally agreed with the post. I loved it. It was great. The road project was a very nice improvement to our community, and it was easy to prove success. But my next thought was, how can we prove that success with spending millions of dollars on a conversion project which may not solve our contamination problem? I said, so I thought about that. I've been chewing on that since that time. And how do we prove it will actually work? Okay. To start with, you have to prove we have a problem. The current reports from the Oceanographic Society and the Florida DEP show that our water conditions have been improving in the past few years. I'm not going to bring up the discharges, but they have been improving to some extent. And we need to explain why the septic systems are adding to the problem. You know, and at the end of it, we would finally need a plan for an outside agency to test the waters after the project. Tough to see that happening. I'm not sure if we're going to have another post like that in the future that says, look what this has done for us. We spent all this money, and have we actually solved the problem? Is septic the actual problem? Okay. All right, so here's the real surprising thing. I have to give you all some credit, including Joe Capra, if he's still here. After reading the report, I was pleasantly surprised. If we stick to the meat of that report, if we go to the bottom and we see the proposed solution, and I've printed the report and I've read it through, I was pleasantly surprised, because it really is common sense and logic. Okay. In summary, it includes a sewer main line for the Sewalls Point Phase 3 road project, correct? Okay. Does not place financial burden on the South Sewalls Point residents for the infrastructure, correct? Kind of hazy because it's all about grant money, okay? Anyway, I give you all credit for this report. If you stick to this report, I'm bought in on it. Okay? If we change from it, we're still going to have a fight. Thank you.
Thanks, Kent.
And we have one other comment, Jackie Thurlow-Lippisch.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Jackie Thurlow-Lippisch, 18 Riverview Drive, Sewalls Point. I've lived in Sewalls Point since 1974. I'm here to congratulate James and David, and also all of you for sticking it out and being up here and doing what it takes to move things forward. I also wanted to thank Mr. Daniels for his lovely post, his email that he wrote to the citizens. It was just so well put together. I was like, wow, this is just, what a good, I used to be a teacher, just a great writer. And it was very nice. And I'm dressed like this today because there was a ribbon cutting down in Homestead We had a ribbon cutting for the new field station. Those are big deals in the South Florida Water Management District, and you have various ones around the state. And it's really where it's kind of like your staff. It's the people who don't get the credit, but the people that keep everything together every day. And why they're getting a new station, and there will be others coming too, is because there are so many SERP projects for Everglades restoration that are coming online or partially coming online, and we have to maintain and operate those. And then they have to take care of the works of the district that are already there. But it's an exciting time for water, and I know you're a big part of that. So I brought some handouts for you. I'm here, and I'll try to be actively involved and save our river. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
Okay, that's the,
Oh, no,
what's that?
I jumped the gun.
Okay. All right, that brings us to item 4 on the agenda, organizational matters, election of a mayor.
No, it's not.
Vice Mayor Kurzman.
Yes, I would like to nominate my fellow commissioner and my friend James Campo to be the next mayor.
Actually, I'd like to add to that. I feel like the maturity and the stability that we've had over this current year with Mayor Tompeck has been kind of calming for the commission, and I'm fine with sort of keeping with the status quo. So my nomination will be for Mayor Tompeck to continue on in his current role.
Commissioner Campo.
I appreciate the respect, Commissioner Kurzman. I've got a lot on my plate this year, and it means a lot to me that you believe in my leadership, but I would rather pass on the role of mayor. I might serve in another purpose, but I would like to, I'd like for us to be in unison, and it means a lot to me, though. So I'd like to withdraw or not second the motion for me to become mayor. Thank you, though.
Commissioner Mayfield.
Yes, in the past, I've stated that, I kind of along the thought that if the person wanted to and was fit for the job, that we should rotate. So I know that Vice Mayor has not been mayor, so but obviously that is up to you. In lieu of that, I have to agree that I think that Mayor Tompeck has done a great job. So I concur with Commissioner Fender. Obviously, that is all up to what you guys want to do. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't started a discussion, yeah. I'll second.
It's unanimous then, I guess it's going to be.
Any discussion? Any more discussion?
I discussed before I seconded, so.
Before you second?
I do want to say you've done such a wonderful job, and it's been a privilege to sit next to you during this time, and what you've done is, as Commissioner Fender just said, it's really been nice and stable to see this, and I've enjoyed it.
Well, I appreciate the nice words. I'd like to become a little more polished over the next year or so. I'm not exactly what I'd call a polished mayor, but I certainly appreciate that, and I'm willing to do that if the commission.
Second, call the question.
Right? Can you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Tompeck,
Yes.
Commissioner Kurzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Campo,
Aye.
Commissioner Fender,
Aye.
Commissioner Mayfield.
Yes.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My wife will kill me when I get home, but that's all right. Okay, next item is election of vice mayor. Any discussion? Any motions? Commissioner Mayfield?
I would make a motion for Vice Mayor Kurzman to continue as Vice Mayor.
Sure, that'd be an honor. I appreciate it if anybody else feels.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Kurzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Campo,
Aye.
Commissioner Fender,
Aye.
Commissioner Mayfield,
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck.
Yes. Nobody has to change chairs, and we don't have to change anything on here, so we're ready to go. Okay, next item is committee appointments of town commissioners. We have the ones listed there. Do we want to make any changes to that? Is that what we're looking at here, Mr. Daniels?
It's my understanding that historically, you look at those after you have a change of the positions, and in this case, we didn't have a change of mayor or vice mayor, so we just put it on the agenda just so if there were any changes where somebody didn't want to serve on a particular committee and somebody else did, you can work that out between y'all.
Okay, does anybody have any? Commissioner Campo?
I'm comfortable with the lineup and specifically my role in the lineup, so I just wanted to pass that along.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yeah, I enjoy being on the Treasure Coast Regional League of Cities. I learn a lot, enjoy it. I am up to be the secretary this coming year.
Whoa.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The Florida League of Cities, I have to be honest, that's usually, it makes sense unless somebody else wants to do it, that the Treasure Coast Regional League of Cities rep would go to the Florida League of Cities conference. I have not done it because traditionally it is hard with my children to get away the weekend in August when school is starting, but I hope to be able to execute on that soon, so.
Well, if you need somebody to go
Go in.
in steed, I can
Okay,
do that.
excellent.
Vice Mayor Kurzman?
Would we all like to stay where everybody was? Is there anybody looking to make any changes?
Well, that's all I'm asking. Does anybody want to make,
Yeah.
if nobody wants to make any changes, we
We-
can just, somebody can make a motion and we'll
Would
just
you-
leave the list the way it is.
Would you mind reading or reminding everyone of who's where? Because my sheet doesn't say who's where on the committee.
It should be on your-
Oh, is there a new?
Should be on your screen, I think.
Oh.
Oh, no, it does, okay.
I'd like to
It's
make-
on the new agenda?
It's on
Is that
your
what it is?
extended agenda.
The agenda
Oh,
that's
okay.
at your place.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm looking at that.
I'd like to make a motion that we all retain what we were doing, if everybody's okay with that.
I'll second.
Yeah, I think that's fine. The other thing I'm thinking about, I get a lot of correspondence from the Florida League of Mayors, so I may look into a little more detail what that's all about, and if that can help us, I will
Oh, here it is.
go ahead and participate with that. Town Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Campo?
Aye.
Commissioner Fender?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kurzman?
Yes.
Okay, that brings us down to item 5, additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda. Do we have any?
Move approval as written.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Fender?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kurzman?
Yes.
Commissioner Campo?
Yes.
Okay, I'll bring us down to the consent agenda. Are there any questions, or do I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kurzman?
Yes.
Commissioner Campo?
Aye.
Commissioner Fender?
Aye.
That brings us to item 8, resolution number 950, recognizing Florida City Government Week. Town Clerk, please read the title of the resolution into the record.
A resolution of the Town of Sewalls Point recognizing Florida City Government Week, October 17th through the 23rd, 2022, and encouraging all citizens to support the celebration and corresponding activities.
Mr. Mayor, just to update everyone, this is an annual week that they set aside to celebrate city government. We did have breakfast with Bob during that week, which was an outreach, which we get credit for, and this resolution was on the ending side of that week originally, but, with the storm and everything, it didn't really help us out, but we are going to be sending it in with our submission to the Florida League of Cities, and I appreciate your patience with it being late, but we didn't have much of a choice.
Okay, is there any other discussion from the commission? Can I get a motion to approve resolution number 950?
Motion made.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mayor Tompeck?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kurzman?
Yes.
Commissioner Campo?
Aye.
Commissioner Fender?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yes.
Next item is resolution number 951, loan agreement. Would the town clerk please read the title of the resolution into the record?
A resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Sewalls Point, Florida, authorizing the town to borrow funds from Seacoast National Bank in the principal amount not to exceed $2 million to purchase the property at 78 South Sewalls Point Road as previously authorized by the Town Commission, awarding the note to Seacoast National Bank by negotiated sale, approving a loan agreement between the town and Seacoast National Bank, designating the note as a bank qualified obligation under Section 265B of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended, providing for repeal of conflicting resolutions and providing for an effective date.
Okay, do we have any discussion among the commission? I have a couple of quick questions I just wanted to go through if I could, Mr. Daniels. I just wanted to refresh my memory on this, is that my recollection is that the purchase price for the property was about $2.17 million, and that the loan is for $2 million, and about $170,000 was going to come from the first ARPA distribution.
That's correct.
Okay. And I was wondering if you could give us a quick status of the property sale of Heritage Road.
Right now, we're moving straight ahead, and I believe it's the 8th or 9th of December that we'll be closing on the property. And,
You said Heritage.
oh, Heritage, I'm sorry.
Is
I
Heritage-
apologize. I'm thinking of this, but, yeah, right. Unfortunately, it got delayed a little bit because of the storm. We're trying to get the tree trimmed up. It's got like a dead section to it, and we want to be able to market the property. So hopefully, I've put another call into the vendor that gave us a quote, and also, we had the arborist come in. Actually, had two arborists, one from the county and one that's an outside contractor, because we don't want to harm the tree. But there are a lot of things that are wrong with it. It has a tree, Florida invasive species right up through the center of it. It's really a cluster of 4 trees that make up the one tree. And so I did get the report, and we did get the price, and we can pay it out of our budgeted funds that we have already for tree mitigation. And as soon as we get that done, it'll be on the market.
Okay. Are there any other questions on the,
I'll move approval of Resolution 951.
I'll second.
any further discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something. I already talked to the town manager about this, but, when this was brought up at the meeting before, it was South State that was the top contender, so I didn't know if you wanted to just quickly.
Sure.
Isn't it great that we threw Seacoast in there as well?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. If you just want to quickly summarize this.
Well, it's last-minute negotiations. It was actually an easier process that Seacoast had mapped out for us, and we were basically talking about the same amount of money between the two firms at that point. And even the representative, Garrett, I think was his name, from South State? Jared, I'm sorry. He even realized that there was a stumbling block on the way that we had to qualify for the loan. So it's just a lot easier, and we already had a relationship with Seacoast. So, since you all gave me that authority, I used it. But I think we'll all be happy with it.
Okay. That's it.
Any other discussion?
When do we start making payments on this?
6 months, June.
June. And what's the payment look like? What's principal and interest?
It's 20, it's a 20-year amortization?
Yeah.
It's about 17,000, I think. Is that what it was, Mariah? Payment in June?
I mean, I'm surprised it's not listed here.
Well, I was kind
Might
of
be the
curious.
contract.
I didn't have a term sheet, but I assume you have the term sheet somewhere.
It was part of the attachments.
Yeah.
So it just,
Oh, it was?
The total payment is $75,390 on June 1st. So principal will be $32,000 and interest will be $43,000.
And the following month, same?
And then it'll be, so we do it every 6 months.
it's semi-annual.
It's biannual.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's no prepayment penalties, so that when when we do have the proceeds from Heritage and also the proceeds from selling the balance of the property there, we should be in pretty good shape.
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Kurzman,
Yes.
Commissioner Campo,
Aye.
Commissioner Fender,
Aye.
Commissioner Mayfield,
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck.
Yes. That brings us to resolution number 952, budget amendment number 4. Town clerk, please read the title of the resolution into the record.
A resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Sewalls Point, Florida, adopting an amendment to the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget, directing the town manager to take action to implement budget amendment number 4, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Is there any, Mr. Daniels, any presentation you want to do on this, or does Mariah want to do a
Mariah,
presentation?
do you want to go walk through the changes so they understand, please?
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. We're in the process of closing out the fiscal year 21-22, and we're just doing some cleanup. The town did not receive the Resilient Florida grant revenue just yet, so that's a big number that we want to go ahead and take out of the budget. So it is have more of a true reflection of what the town has received and budgeted. So, but we're doing that, and then for our fiscal year 22-23, the commission approved a building fund and a capital projects fund. And so we're taking reserve monies and we're sticking that into those funds to have a beginning balance. And so that's the majority. That's basically what this budget amendment is doing. So, is that?
Is there any questions or discussion?
I'll move approval of Resolution 952.
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Campo,
Aye.
Commissioner Fender,
Aye.
Commissioner Mayfield,
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kurzman.
Yes.
We have no public hearings on ordinances. That'll come at the next meeting. No old business, so we're up to new business. Grant application approvals. Mr. Daniels.
Yes, and in your packet, you'll see there is a brick grant that came available. There's actually two parts to it that were advantageous to us. One part is, I guess we've commonly called it Phase 1, Part 4, but we're labeling it as South River Road Improvement Project. And I'd mentioned when we were talking about the capital schedule, how the costs have increased on doing the South River Road drainage improvement, and we are estimating it roughly about $1 million. And so with this grant money coming available, that helps us, and it's only a 25% match, where a lot of the grants are 50%. So that's one phase, and then the other phase of it is the septic to sewer program. They also will pay for septic to sewer, so we're hopefully, when we should be hearing shortly on the grant that we originally put in for back in September, and hopefully this will complement that, where we'll be able to use part of it as our match for that grant. So unfortunately, it was due yesterday, so I asked, I know you all had it in your packet. We had the hurricane that canceled the meeting, but I'd asked that in lieu of authorizing us to do it, since I already did it, just ratifying that decision that I made. And if you all decide that that's not what you want to do, we can, stop everything tomorrow. So if we didn't get it in by 5 o'clock yesterday, we wouldn't have the opportunity. So that's all I have.
I had a chance to talk with Mr. Daniels about that yesterday, because I was reading the package again yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and I said, oh my God, this thing is due at 5 o'clock today. So, I thought it was a good idea to go ahead, because, hey, if you decide we don't want to do it, we can certainly withdraw it, but if it's late, you could be out of luck. Mr. Mayfield.
Yes, I agree with you, and I would make a motion to authorize the application for both grant opportunities.
I will second it.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Campo?
Aye.
Commissioner Fender?
Aye.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kurzman?
Yes.
And that brings us down to item 12B, which is amendment to the holiday schedule. Mr. Daniels.
Yes, we got into a little bit of a discussion within the town hall staff, and apparently there were some statements that were made that were either misconstrued or were made. I don't know, because I wasn't here and I wasn't in charge. So I thought I'd bring it up to you all because, I think it's important that we recognize our staff when there are conflicts and try to resolve them. And it all revolves around having New Year's Eve off. And last year, New Year's Eve, I think, was on a Saturday, and if I'm correct. And so they were off on New Year's Eve. It's not covered in our handbook as a benefit, one of the holidays that we give. But in light of it being a slow period, during that holiday season, I didn't know if that was something that you all would want to authorize, but I can't authorize it. If I felt strongly about us needing an additional holiday, I would come to you ahead of time before and get that permission. And the best I can tell, there was never any permission given by this commission to have that as an additional holiday off.
Just clarify the date we're talking about.
We're talking about December 31st or the celebration day. Some cities do take New Year's Eve off as a holiday.
First or Saturday, Sunday.
Right. So Monday would be the holiday for the 1st, the national holiday. And what some cities do is they'll celebrate Friday, in this case, as the New Year's Eve holiday. So it makes for a 4-day weekend at the end of the year.
So we're asking for December 30th and January 2nd.
Correct.
Well, not January 2nd, that's already, that's
Yeah,
already.
that's already a holiday.
Yeah, the 2nd's already in the manual because that would be the holiday for the,
So we're asking for Friday, December 30th and Tuesday, January 3rd?
no, just the 30.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's the 30th.
Vice Mayor Kurzman.
I personally don't have any problem with it. It is a slower time of the year, and it gets our employees to spend some time with their families, which I think is a good thing to have. I want to hear feedback from other commissioners.
And I'm wondering, Ms. Daniels, are you planning on doing, this is not a one-shot thing, this is a every year? kind of
No,
thing?
this is to resolve the situation for this year. If the commission likes that idea, when we come back in February with the personnel rules that we'll have, we're going to be addressing holidays. And, if you would like to address it at that time, if you thought it was a good benefit, it wasn't cost prohibitive to do it, then, but this is just to get us through this situation that we're in this year.
Commissioner Fender.
Just in the spirit of holidays, I'll make the motion to offer December 30th as a holiday for our staff.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Fender?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Kurzman?
Yes.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yes.
Mayor Tompeck?
Yes.
Commissioner Campo?
Aye.
Okay, that's all we have on the agenda. Do you have any closing comments, Mr. Daniels?
Yes, I think in my little memo that you have there with the menu, we're going to have a busy day 2 weeks from tonight on the 29th. We've got a lot to get through. We start out at 4 o'clock with the workshop meeting, and I'll be meeting with Joe this week, and we'll be putting that whole presentation together. I think we have a meeting Friday, right, Joe? And so that's scheduled roughly for an hour period of time, and at 5 o'clock picks up the LPA meeting to go over the LDRs, and then,
Can I ask you a quick
Sure.
question? The last time we were going to do this was last week. We only had one of the ordinances ready. You're going to have all three of them, or just
Yes.
still the one?
no, you'll have all three of those,
Okay.
and I'm trying to get that packet out Thursday. So if you all are taking the holiday off and, you have more than enough time to review the material before the meeting. So, and then, we have the meeting at 6 o'clock, where we'll be voting on the ordinances. I think there might have been one other item that was going to be on the agenda,
What's the date of that meeting?
Time change,
the 29th,
the time change ordinance?
and the time change ordinance, but I thought there was something that came up today that we were going to try to put on, but it was something minor, but. No, the 6 PM meeting. Yeah, so, anyhow, but I just wanted you all to know, and since you get paid so much to be here, I thought it was only fair that we offer some food and substance for you all. So we're actually starting at 3 o'clock for the staff, and the commission can come in if you have that time. I know, with the busy work schedules, you might not be able to get here until 4 o'clock or even, but, in between the meetings, or if you want to bring it up to the dais even, if, you can feel free. It's going to be sandwiches and salads from Publix. You have the menu, I think, attached to your paperwork there. If you can just get back with April by Friday, we just wanted to try to get everything ordered so there's no problem with the holiday and everything. So, and short of that, I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and we're going to be here, but I might not get a chance to see you all. So, and congratulations, and let's have a great year this year.
Commissioner Mayfield?
Yes, I actually wanted to ask the town manager a question. Wasn't there a food drive going on where you could drop off at town hall? Is that still happening?
Yes.
Okay.
During the hurricane, we had to bring the tubs in, but I think we have like it's a garbage can, but it's a red can, basically.
How long is that out there till?
I think that's out there until Monday.
Till Monday.
Till Monday.
Thank you.
So, and we kind of hid the donations in my office because of the event tonight, so.
Okay.
But we have gotten a lot from the residents and
Okay,
so
good.
forth, so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for plugging that. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Commissioner Fender?
Yeah, a couple of things. So I chatted with the town manager over the week, and there's some questions came up on social media about the next phase of the road raising project, and I went out to find a link to that to share, and realized there wasn't a link. There's only information on phase 1. There's no information on phase 2 and future phase, or not even a hierarchical overview. So I'm hoping that, and I think you said you're going to work on getting something out
Yes.
there, but I just want to bring it up formally that we probably need to make that information more publicly available. Just as people ask on social media, we can just point them there instead of giving them incorrect data.
Right. And just on that note, we're kind of limited right now with the website on how many links that we can link off the main page, and we're getting a price to see what it's going to cost us to add widgets, as they call them, to our main page. So, because you don't want to have a whole chain where they got to go through. I think it's easier, just like the septic to sewer, they hit that button and they go right to
Well, I
the.
would have, just in the link that is already there for the road raising project, I would have expected to go there and see all the information, but all the
Okay.
information was not there. It was just phase 1, past tense. Yeah. And-
We will correct that.
Yeah, appreciate that. There is one other item, and I'm trying to remember it now.
Well, while you're thinking,
Yeah.
let me thank Mr. Daniels and the chief for, their help during the storm. The emails and the other posts were really good for people knowing what was going on, what was closed, what was flooded. We really appreciate that, so thank you for that.
I did remember.
Go ahead.
So you guys probably mentioned it, and I probably was thinking of something else. The holiday party this year?
Yes. The open house party is the 11th, which is Sunday.
Okay.
And then we do the parade with Santa Claus.
Sounds like business as usual.
Yes.
Okay.
we're back to normal. And then
All right. That's great. Glad to hear it.
Okay. Are there any other comments from the commission?
Yeah, I have, just briefly, congratulations to
Yes.
Commissioner Campo and Vice Mayor Kurzman. Look forward to working together.
Careful what you ask for. I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Oh, no, we still have.
Two more
Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Campo.
I just wanted to thank the staff and Town Manager Daniels for the idea of a little break. I think it was great that we had some other folks involved. You know, we're not an island. You know, we're a peninsula. And it's great to be connected with other community electeds, and I appreciate that opportunity and the respect of having that little break. And in case anyone was wondering who that couple was up on the screen, that was my mom and dad. That was my mom that held the Bible for me 8 years ago when I was first sworn in, and she's since passed, but I think about her at times like this.
Awesome.
Vice Mayor Kurzman.
Yes, I also want to extend thanks in addition to the chief and our town manager. Also, I want to thank our building department, our building inspector, Jack, as well as Jeff. They were out there with a truck picking up debris off the roads. I was really impressed with that. Also want to mention, I was stunned. I was up 11:30 at night, and I watched the river just come up my road, but I was even more impressed how quick the water left when everybody else did not have the water. I wasn't happy about seeing the water. Nobody wants salt water on their front lawn, but it was just maybe a matter of a few hours, and it was all gone. And our worst properties, and what I'm referring to is the properties specifically over by the intersection of Margarita and South Sewalls Point Road, and the properties over at Mandalay and Sewalls Point Road. Those supposed lakes that would normally be there, this water would normally, in any king tide, they would be just, the water would retain itself for sometimes weeks. I'm not exaggerating saying weeks. I've lived there for a number of years. Everything disappeared. Cindy Lucas, the Gretchen lives across the street over there. Their properties were dry the next day, which never happened in the past. So it does show it worked in what I consider the worst flooding I've seen since I've lived here. And we made out pretty good. And I looked at some of the neighboring roads, including where Frank lives, and that water wasn't in any hurry to get out of there. And, you know, and that includes even around like part of High Point. Some of the low-lying properties retained their water, and always at Sewalls Point, it looked like just a continuous lake. All I saw was water all the ways down, and people couldn't drive through it. And it's such a pleasure, once this project will be done, to drive through a dry road after a king tide. I've never seen it, and I'm excited when that day's going to come. And I appreciate the efforts that our engineer, Joe Capper, has put into this.
Mr. Mayfield, do you have anything else?
No, that was from before.
I'll move it, we adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thanks.